Hey everyone, hope you're well. So Man City are now Premier League champions 3 years on the trot. Now obviously it's not official yet, but it's basically official because Arsenal lost to Brighton 3-0 today and Man City won 3-0 today against Everton. And obviously Arsenal do have 2 games in hand, but I still think it's virtually impossible because I don't think Man City will drop any more points in the league. And also I think Arsenal have dropped way too many silly points against teams like West Ham and Southampton and Everton. So unfortunately, I don't think Arsenal are going to challenge next season for the league either. I do think Arsenal will end in top four next season, but I don't think they'll be challenging how they were challenging this season. And Arsenal have nobody to blame but themselves. Because at one point they were they were miles ahead of City at one stage, and they allowed City to just to just take them over by dropping so many points. And when they lost to City at the Etihad, I think it was, or was it at the Emirates where City beat them, and Ireland, I think Ireland scored a hat trick. Obviously, remind me in the comments. But when they lost to Man City in the league, it was over from that stage, and at the end of that game, Arsenal looked defeated as a team. And yes, they had they had, some, they had a couple of good games, but it was still not enough to catch City. And if City wins the quadruple, if City wins the treble, sorry, I think you have to give Pep manager of the season, even though I would like to see somebody else get manager of the get manager of the season. If they win the treble, you have to give the manager of the season to Pep. But, but if they don't get the treble, I think Eddie Howe will be a good manager of the season. We look at where Newcastle were last year to where they are this year, and you have to give Unai Emery a recommendation as well. You have to give the Brighton manager a recommendation. I can't remember his name. Apologies. You know what I'm like when it comes to my names. Obviously, no, no disrespect intended. But him a, you have to give him a shout as well. So yeah, today's been a really interesting day. Going into the second half in the Arsenal Brighton game, you thought Arsenal were gonna come out with with a with a new with a new bitterness to the second half, and they would grind out a 1-0 win or something. Because obviously going in going in to half time, it was 0-0, and I thought in the second half Arsenal would get a goal back, would get a goal, and that would be the end of the game. But no, Bright, Bright. I tell you what, Brighton looked like the better side. Were the better side in the second half. And if I'm being honest, I think you could argue they were the better team for the whole game. You would think Brighton were the team challenging for the league the way they played the second half. Arsenal didn't just did not turn up did, did not turn up for that game, and it obviously cost them the league, so they can't have any complaints but themselves. And obviously, as I said, congratulations to Man City and and it looks like Brighton are going to end up going into Europe. I would have loved it. I would have loved it. I would have loved it if the Villa would have ended up being in Europe. But it looked like Brighton's going to end up in Europe. But it's not over yet, because I believe the Villa still have to play Brighton. So it's not over yet. But if I was putting my money on it, I would say Brighton are more likely to get into Europe this season. But I definitely think the Villa could get into Europe next season. And when I mean next season, I mean they could qualify next season for for two season for 2 season time, if you know what I mean. Just just a couple more additions, maybe another centre back, and then I think the Villa could definitely challenge for Europe next season. And I think you have to give Unai Emery at least a shout for manager of the season, even though he only came in. I think he came in December or somewhere around that time period. When you think about where the Villa were when he came uh, in the relegation places, and the way he'd been able to turn the team around and get Ollie Watkins firing, and a lot of people thought myself included, a lot of people thought when Danny Ings left for West Ham, a lot of people thought the Villa were in trouble. But as I say, Ollie Watkins, I just turned up this season, and it's not only Watkins. I think the midfield have, I think the midfield have done really well as well. It's the whole team, to be honest. Under Unai Emery, they've had a complete turnaround. But but I still don't think it'll be enough to get into Europe this season. As I say, I know they've still got to play Brighton, but I just don't think it'll be enough this season. But definitely next season, they could definitely challenge for Europe. And and I think the Villa not being in Europe next season could be a blessing in disguise, to be honest. Because I think if we would have got into Europe this season, I don't think we would have recruited enough quality players in order to compete in Europe next season. So it would have went one or two ways. We would have had a really good run in Europe. That means our league form probably would have suffered, or we would have had a really good league. We would have had a really good league campaign, and then we would have been knocked out of the Europa League in the group stage or the qualifying stage or whatever stage the eighth team gets into first. I'm not sure whether you finish. I'm not sure whether the team that finishes eighth has to go into a qualifying round. Qualifying round to even get into the group stage, or whether they just go into the group stage. But whatever the first stage is, for the team that finished in eighth. That probably would have been where the Villa went out next season. But I think because I think we have one more season of just having league having league having a league to deal with. I think that would do the Villa really well, to be honest. Not being in your not being in Europe next season. But but going back to the games, Chelsea drew 2-2 against Nottingham Forest. So I think Nottingham Forest will stay up because because they score a lot of goals as of late, and I think that will be enough to keep them up for this season. And I think next season I think Chelsea. You never know. You never know with Chelsea, do you? They can either be really, they can either be tremendous or they can be horrendous. Like, you know what I mean? Like next season, they could win the league. I mean, I doubt it, but you never know with Chelsea, do you? Or they can end up being in, or being in 10th again. And, and if I, if I, if I was Chelsea and Pochettino, I, I would, I would have brought him in now, to be honest. Because obviously there's all these rumours that Pochettino's going to be the manager next season. And as I said, I would have brought him in now, so he could have seen who, who he wanted to get rid of and and who he wanted to keep, and he could have sorted out his squad for next season. I know people would have said, what's he going to really do this season to, to change change where where they finish in the league? And as I say, he probably would not have changed anything in terms of Chelsea's league position. But I think he could have got them ready for next season better, as I say, by looking at who he wants to get rid of and who he wants to keep. And I imagine he's probably already at the and I imagine he's probably already at the training ground. I would imagine. No, uh, so when it comes to the league, I think obviously obviously as we all know, Southampton are relegated now. I think Leeds are still going to be relegated, even with that draw against Newcastle. I just don't think they score enough, and I just don't think they defend well enough in order to stay in the league, to be honest. So I think Leeds are going to go down. Leicester, Leicester are playing Liverpool tomorrow at the time of recording. So I imagine Liverpool beat Leeds. No, sorry, I didn't mean Leeds. I meant Leicester. Sorry. I imagine Liverpool beat Leicester tomorrow. But it is Monday night football under the lights, and you never know who you never know who Leicester. They could easily turn up and beat you 3-0, especially with the way Liverpool have been defending this season. But if I had to put if I had to put my money on if I had to put my money on who I think would win, I would put it on Liverpool comfortably. Because I just don't think Leicester are that good defensively to really stop Liverpool. And say what you want about Liverpool's defence and even the midfield at times, but their forward line is still quite dangerous. If they get into the right positions. As I say, I think the final two spots for relegation will be Leeds and Leicester. I think Everton will just be alright because I think they'll get on. I reckon Everton will beat Wolves, to be honest. That might be a stupid prediction, but that's what I think. And speaking of Wolves, Man United beat them 2-0. I think now Man United have consolidated top four. Is that even the right word? Consolidate. You know what I mean? And when you look at the whole season, you have to say it's been a disappointment for Man United. It's been a disappointment for Man United. Yes, they won the Carabao Cup or whatever they call it now, and that me, I, I would have said Man United would have been in the final of the Europa League, to be honest. But obviously, they had they had that awful performance against Sevilla. So I think it's Sevilla anyway. I think I've said that right, haven't I? Sevilla. So yeah, when you look at Man United season as a whole, you would say you'd say it's been a okay season, but ultimately you would have expected them to be in the final of the Europa League and even win. And I expected them to win the Europa League, so I'm going against my own argument here. I don't think it's been a good enough season for Man United. Yes, they got they got they got into the top four, but when you look at all the competitions that they got to the final of, as I said, the Europa League, and some of the performances have been diabolical this season. But the one thing I will say, when they do have a bad performance, they do come out of it quite well. Like like what I mean is they never go on a bad run. Like they never had a situation when they've had 5 or 6 games when they've completely fallen apart. It's always been a case of they lose one game and then they win five, or they lose one game and then they win four or 5 or 6. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. As I say, as I say, yes, they got into the top four. When I just think they should have done better in the Europa League. And let's be honest, over the last couple of weeks, I wasn't sure whether they were gonna finish in top four or not, because they've had a couple of bad performances. Again, again, I'm going against my own point, but I just don't know. How do you feel about Man United? Are you happy with the season as a whole, or are you disappointed, or do you think it's a bad season? Let me know what you think if you're a Man United fan. To be honest, I've completely forgotten what I've covered and what I haven't covered. So, have I said, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed for the for the Southampton for the Southampton fans and for some of the people that work at the club. Because sometimes relegation can mean other things. Obviously, obviously, I don't know what that will be like for Southampton, but and and I can't imagine what it must have been like for for the Southampton fans, because this has been on the this has been I think this has been an 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 inevitability an inevitability for the last couple of years, if I'm being honest. Hmm. So so what so what else do I want to talk about? Um, I mean, I mean, I mean, I mean, Palace. When I mean, Palace won today 2-0. So congratulations to them. And under Roy Hodgson, they've been doing quite well. And I even said on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, I'm calling it now. Roy Hodgson will be the manager next season, and I think he will be. I know they said it, like, I know they said it'll only be to the end of the season, but I think in the summer they will convince him to stop on another year. Uh, so I can see that happening. Um, and West Ham lost to Brentford 2-0. So technically West Ham could still be relegated, but I think they have enough firepower and they're alright from a defensive point of view. I think they'll be alright at this point. But it is still mathematically possible for them to be relegated, but I just don't think they will be. And uh, and today, the Arsenal, no, sorry, today the Chelsea women's team won the FA Cup. I did flick backwards and forward between that game and the City game. I did not. I didn't see the goal, but I know it ended 1-0 to Chelsea. So congratulations to them. And and Sunderland beat Luton 2-1 in the playoffs in the semi-finals of the playoffs. So I must say uh, the the the, the Sunderland equaliser was amazing, and Coventry and Middlesbrough drew 0-0 in their first legs. So yeah, it's been an interesting couple of days. So let me know what you think of all of these clubs and all of these games. And to be honest, my voice my voice, my voice is starting to get a bit hoarse. So I'm gonna call it a night for tonight, everyone. Speak to you tomorrow. And yes, my voice is getting a bit croaky. So speak to you in a bit. Have a good day. Apologies if I started to ramble toward, toward the end, or if I repeated myself a couple of times. But you know me, so yeah, I'm gonna go now. My voice is getting a bit croaky, so speak to you later. Have a good day.